You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Heat fans? Welcome to another episode of your Locked On Heat Postcast. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries, G-R-I-E-S, at Jim Gries _ on social media. And what a loss tonight for Miami. 125-124 in overtime in Detroit basketball. Second time this year the Heat have lost to the Pistons, both on the road, both in overtime. They hadn't lost two in the same season to the Detroit Pistons since the year 2018-19. You guys remember all those years ago when this was the rivalry in the Eastern Conference, right? Those Detroit guys with Wallace and Chauncey and Rip and all those guys, Tayshaun Prince and the Heat with Wade and Shaq and all those guys. Well, that's a long time ago in a land far, far away, but you still got some real good players on the floor. And the Heat really hitting their stride 4 games in a row, coming into the Palace at Auburn Hills, and it would not get to 5. The Heat go to 13-11 as they lose in OT. A huge deficit for Miami in the fourth quarter. They close the game on an 18-2 run. Tyler Hero hits a 3 to send it to overtime. They score the first 7 points of OT, and you're thinking, hey, cruising to a W here, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. But it was not to be. We'll tell you how it happened right here, right now. Hey, it's your tonight. It's your Miami Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. And it starts right now. And your Locked On Heat Postcast, of course, is presented by Robinhood. And you know it's all good. It's an Ice Cube song. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. And of course, want to let you know, as I always let you know, and it's my job to let you know, but we're always keeping you in the know with everything we do here on the Locked On Podcast Network. And this is no different. Your favorite podcast now has a newsletter. You know this, man. You every day say this all the time. Introducing the Locked On Heat Daily Newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Gries. The Heat lose tonight to the Detroit Pistons, and man, oh man, they closed the game on an 18-2 run. Tyler Hero hits a 3 to send it to OT when he had been shooting poorly all night long. Really good defense by the Pistons of Detroit, and Tyler Hero was not able to get going, but down the stretch, he did, and he hit the 3 to send it to overtime on a night when Jimmy Butler had a 35-point triple-double, his first one of the season. Hey, Jimmy, anytime you want to just have one of those runs where you start taking over games, now might be the time. And the Pistons had a big lead throughout this game, mainly because Malik Beasley and Cade Cunningham went nuts, man. Malik Beasley, 28 points, 7 to 13 on threes. Cade Cunningham, 20 points, 18 assists, 11 rebounds, man. But Jimmy Butler, 35 points, 19 rebounds, and 10 assists for Miami, and unbelievable. But what decided the game after the Heat scored the first 7 points of overtime, how about Tim Hardaway Jr.? Now, I have a great story, and I've told this before on the show, but I'm going to tell it again because I love this story, okay? Heat Magic, playoffs, first round, had to have been 97, maybe 98. I can't remember, 97 or 98. First round of the playoffs, and we're playing Orlando, right? The Heat are playing Orlando, and Miami's the higher seed. It was Penny was still there. Shaq was gone. Had to have been 97. Yeah, it had to have been. And Penny had the knee injury, but he dropped. He had a 37-point game at the arena up in Orlando. And I remember that night, and Penny and Richie Adubato was coaching them. And, you know, the Heat were obviously a different team back then. And, you know, Pat Riley was coaching. And when you think about the Miami Heat in that playoff series and you think about beating Orlando, the thing that comes to mind for me was going to cover that series in Orlando. And I loved going up to Orlando. Got a room up there, had a good time, covered the series, took my old trusty portable Marantz tape recorder. You had the little like the pleather case over it with the snaps, with the cassette that went in the microphone and the cable and the professional equipment, right? And I'm strapped and I'm ready to go. Well, as I'm driving up, I see a caravan of cars every time we ride, hitting up as we pass by. That's what we're doing. All eyes on us. We're rolling up the, it's not the I-4. It's Florida's Turnpike. We're rolling up the Florida's Turnpike, and I see a big old fat Range Rover driving next to me, and I look over, and it's Yolanda Hardaway, Tim Hardaway's wife, and she had Ike Austin's wife, and I forget, like 3 of the other wives with her, and there's 4 of them wives, a bunch of kids in that car, little convoy of us going up there. So we get to the arena, and we all park, and I pull out my Marantz. I'm like, yo, could I do a little thing with you guys? Little snot-nosed kid. Bubbles coming down, little snots coming here. He's coughing. He wasn't feeling good. I didn't even know where he was or what he was doing. Just a little baby right there. And I'm getting to each wife, and each wife says their name, Yolanda Hardaway, Cindy Austin, whoever it was. And they all go Heat. And I put it on my radio. Show's a big deal, right? Well, that little snot-nosed kid just hit 3 3-pointers in overtime tonight to beat the Miami Heat, which makes me feel old as hell. And I might be old as hell, but that's beside the point. That kid, that day, the man who hit those threes tonight, this man right here, Tim Hardaway Jr., one of the cutest little babies you've ever seen in your entire life. That was when his dad was tearing up the Orlando Magic with Alonzo Mourning and all them guys. And, man, it seems like yesterday, but I'm here to tell you, boys and girls, it was almost 30 years ago, and now Tim Hardaway Jr. is a really good player in the NBA, and I'm just older doing the same things that I've always done. But I think that's a great story, right? Little snots coming down his face, and now seeing Tim Hardaway Sr. in the crowd tonight and all those interviews and all those times I talked to Timmy, and I still feel like I'm the same dude, but the hair's gone. You know, I mean, I'm better looking now. You know what I'm saying? A couple Botox shots will be right. It's Miami after all, right? Hey, anybody watching, you want to work some trade with your boy here? I need about 17,000 units of Botox. Anyone? 17,000? Think that'll be enough? Anyone? 17,000? 18? 20,000? 20K. 20K shots of Botox, and I will be all right. But yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr., when they're down 7 points, hits 3 threes in a row, man. And just, you know, Tyler Hero had a miss in there. Butler and Cunningham trade baskets. But even though the Pistons had lost 4 out of 5, the thing about Detroit is they're not a great shooting team, but when they shoot well, they win. Cunningham's got magnificent talents. Beasley's a shooter, 7 threes tonight. And if you're looking for any reasons why Miami lost this game tonight, Tyler 4 for 17 from 3 tonight. Tyler Hero. No Hero ball tonight. Jaden Ivey and Tobias Harris were out for the Pistons. Isaiah Stewart was lost in the first half. Miami had no business losing this game. The Pistons just shot the lights out. They outscored the Heat 11-2 in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Miami's still sleeping, coming out of the locker room. But, you know, Jimmy Butler, just the 3rd player in NBA history to finish with 35 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists, and 4 steals in a game. Boogie, DeMarcus Cousins, and George McGinnis in 1976, the other ones. And, you know, Miami was favored by 4.5. The total was 218.5. And unbelievable that they don't get the win tonight when the Pistons had all those injuries. And, you know, 6 triple-doubles for Cade Cunningham, 20 points, 18 assists, 11 rebounds. A lot of beautiful feeds to Beasley, hitting threes tonight. And the Detroit Pistons, with a nice win, they go to 11-16. They didn't win their 11th game last year. Remember, double digits until way after New Year's. Yeah, and this year they're all right. Miami 13-11. 4-game win streak snapped just when you think everything's good. You know, I mean, it just took a bad shooting night from Tyler and a great shooting night from the Detroit basketball Pistons to bury the Miami Heat. And overall, you know, I mean, look, overall, this is the stretch of the game that lost it for the Miami Heat here. You're up at this point. They score the first 17 points of overtime. Butler makes Bam is an alley-oop from Rozier. Butler with a layup. Duncan Robinson, another layup. Robinson with a floater. Then Tim Hardaway Jr. It's 122-114 at that point. I'm literally watching. Yeah, it was 122-114. And bang, Tim Hardaway, 25-footer, 122-117. Tyler Hero comes down, tries to be a hero, misses a 25-footer. Then comes Tim Hardaway Jr., bang, from 28 feet. And then Tyler Hero again trying to match Tim Hardaway Jr. Breaks another 3. Tim Hardaway Jr., bang, makes another one. And just like that, 3 in a row. And an 8-point deficit turns into a 1-point lead for the Pistons. Butler makes a 2, puts Miami back up by 1. Cade Cunningham makes a layup. It's 125-124 with 23.2 left. And here's the part that gets me, okay? There's 25 seconds left in the game at this point in time. Actually, 37 seconds left in the game. Tyler Hero misses another pull-up 3. This dude misses 3 threes in a row. He missed a 3 at the end of overtime that would have won the game too. Tyler's not done missing. He's missed 3 in a row here, right? The Pistons get the ball. Robinson fouls. Pistons call timeout. Tim Hardaway Jr. throws it away on the inbounds pass. Tyler Hero, Heat call timeout. 9.1 seconds left. So the 3 threes, he shoots them into the lead. And then Tim Hardaway Jr. throws the ball away, man. And what happens after that? I don't know how Eric Spoelstra calls a timeout and what ensued after this happens. I don't know with Heat culture. I don't know with how well coached this team is that they could blow it this badly and end up with an isolation with Tyler from 900 feet, bricking another 3 after he just missed 3 in a row. Well, guess what happens? The Heat go down to Jimmy Butler. He misses a layup. He gets the rebound. He's fouled. Oh, Jimmy's going to the line. He's going to go up by 1 with 6 seconds left. But wait, the foul was on the floor as he was coming down with the rebound. Keep following me here, all right? They get the ball with 6 seconds left. Tyler Hero misses a 3-pointer to win the game. So 4 straight misses from 3 for Tyler to end the game on a night when he went 4 for 17. 4 straight misses from 3 to end the game. And that's all they could do was get those long-range shots. And coming out of a timeout, they get the play to Jimmy. But then coming out of that, they cannot get a play executed that ends up with anything better than a long-range jack from Tyler Hero from 3. I'm sorry, guys. I got distracted there for a second. A long-range jack from Tyler for 3. It was all that they could get, and none of them would go down. He got some good looks at the bucket, but, you know, they're down 1, and he's shooting 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. Dude, come on, man. What are you doing? Throw the ball inside, work it around. It's like you're trying to shoot your way out of the slump when the game's on the line, and, you know, I just don't appreciate that. It's not something that I would think would be good basketball. I'm sure Spo said something to him after the game. Look, you got to have these wins. You have to have these wins, and we have to go to break. We're over the break by a couple of minutes, but you have to have these wins. You can't lose to these terrible teams on the road. You know, I mean, look, it doesn't matter if you're on the road. You've lost some home games. You cannot be losing to these bad teams. You just can't do it. You cannot be losing to these bad teams on the road or at home. That doesn't matter, but you got to win these road games against teams like that because you have to. I mean, that's the difference between a real good team and a not so good team, and that's the difference between being in the play-in, honestly speaking, and not being in the play-in. You're watching Locked On Heat Postcast. Jim Grieshaber. Call me, Grease. Time to tell you about a couple of our sponsors here on the show. And one of the reasons I love telling you about these guys because every single time we do this, we're bringing you some huge value. We have great deals for you with amazing companies. With the sponsors that we have, when we come back, we will hit you with the players of the game. We have 2 tonight. Then we have the turning point. We have the final score graphic coming up later. We got the box score. We got the team stats. We got all that and more, getting you ready for the OKC Thunder on Friday. Of course, they play in the finals of the NBA Cup tomorrow in Viva Las Vegas. Hopefully they win the cup, get real drunk, go to one of those clubs out there and be hungover for like 3 days, and then come back and play the Heat. It's Locked On Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team. Yeah, I know. Even tonight, every day. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. All right. And we are ready. Is that Robinhood? We got this? Oh, my goodness. Hello. Thank you. Wow, that took a hot minute there. All right, but real quick, all right, I have to tell you about something that is really awesome for you. And you know, every single time we open our mouths on this network and tell you about one of our sponsors, you are getting a great deal. With Robinhood Gold, you do not need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for the high society. But now, the resourceful individual, that would be you, that would be me, with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.25% APY on uninvested cash and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on IRA account contributions. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product-specific disclosures, visit Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risks. Rates may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC. Robinhood Gold on the Locked On Podcast Network. And today's show is also brought to you by BetterHelp. Locked On Heat Postcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. I want to say thank you to my therapist. I have an appointment actually on Wednesday with my lady. We just started couples counseling. It's really helping me understand her. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I need help. I need better help, right? You have to understand the people you're with. Counseling has done so much. I'm kidding, babe. I love you. Counseling is amazing, right? Throughout my life, I've been going to therapy. I've been going to counseling. Since I was a kid, I had trouble sleeping. I had trouble sitting still in school. I've had ADHD my whole entire life. So, yeah, therapy, counseling has been huge in my life. It has been absolutely phenomenal. And I am really, really, absolutely thrilled to say these things to you because I do not at all have any ego when it comes to these things. And you shouldn't either because we need help, right? And I want to say thank you. So I'm shouting out my therapist, and I've definitely benefited from therapy over the years. So many things have been coming at me full speed from the time I've been born in this life. I aspire to high things. I've reached high levels. I've had really intense relationships, and a lot of things have really, really thrown themselves at me full speed in my life. And without counseling, without therapy, I don't know what I would have done. And getting through those things and helping me cope and helping me get to the point where I am now, happy and healthy and living large at 52. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, suited to your schedule. That's important. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. That's right, with BetterHelp. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp this holiday season. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA on the Locked On Podcast Network. All right, my production's not the best tonight. Look at this. Slipping. Yes, indeed, I'm slipping. Man, you got to love that counseling. I mean, Heat fans need counseling tonight after watching Tyler shoot and after watching that game where they come back, they score the 18 of the last 20 points in regulation. Tyler hits the three, you go to OT, you score the first 7 points of overtime. And then Tim Hardaway Jr. shoots Detroit right back into the lead. And then Tyler all of a sudden goes on a one-man crusade to shoot 90-foot threes, 4 of them in a row to end the game. And it's like, Bro, you're 4 for 17 tonight. What is this, Kobe against Utah? It's not your night, bro. Pass the ball to Jimmy. That guy who's the best player on your team. That guy who had his first triple-double of the year. The guy who scored 35 points, had 19 rebounds in a game. That guy. Pass him the ball. Yeah, that's what happens. You get a little too big for your britches. Everyone's calling you an all-star. Tyler, it's Tyler's team. And Tyler was bound and determined. To shoot them past Detroit last night, and it did not go his way. And you're playing with house money, but you got to win that game. When you get a second chance, you get a second life on the road against a team like that. You have to beat them. You have to win that game. That's a bad, bad loss for Miami. Let's take a look at the box. We're still going to hit the player of the game, the turning point, and the final score graphic as well. So in the box score here, obviously Jimmy Butler, the star of the show. 35 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists. Jimmy 12 for 21 from the floor. Just had 1 3-pointer, but he was at the line again tonight a bunch of times. And, 12 field goals, 35 points. Only one of them's a 3. That means he had 10 free throws as well. And that's when Jimmy's being Jimmy, the old school hoops right there. Tyler ends up with 23 on 9 for 25 shooting, 4 of 17 for 3, 4 rebounds for Tyler. Bam Adebayo, 15, 8, and 3. Tonight on 6 of 12 shooting, 13 points on 5 of 10 and 3 of 7 from 3 for Duncan Robinson. Haywood Highsmith, 3 points on 1 of 2 shooting. 13 points for Jaime Jaquez Jr. on 5 of 12 shooting. Rozier, 3 of 8 for 11. Smith, 7 points and 4 for Kevin Love. Jovic wasn't with the team, and Larson was not with the team. Ware, Burks, and Johnson DNPs for Detroit basketball. Beasley, Malik, 9 of 18, 7 of 13 for 3 for 28 points for Malik Beasley. Nothing, though, in the fourth quarter. And overtime, Cade Cunningham, triple-double, 6th of the year, 20 points, 18 assists, 11 rebounds for the number 1 pick of last year's draft, two drafts ago. Thompson with 19, Hardaway Jr., 16, 9 of them on threes in overtime, 5 for 10 from 3, Beasley 7 for 13. Those two guys right there, 12 of 23 from 3. That won the game for Detroit. When those guys get hot, they're going to win a lot of games. Let's take a look at the team stats really quickly before we hit the break and get on out of here. Un momento, por favor. The Heat outshot 48.9 to 45.5%. 20 of 40 for 3 from Detroit, 12 of 43 for Miami. There's your game. I don't even need to read any more of the stats right there. When you live by the 3, you die by the 3, and the ratings are down in the NBA because all everybody does is chuck and duck. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Where's the artistry? I want some more basketball. Miami, 22 of 24 from the line. Detroit, 17 of 23. Miami, 91%. Getting it done from the stripe tonight. Detroit out-rebounds Miami, 52 to 44. And let's see. Steals, 16 to 8 for Miami. Turnovers, 22 for Detroit and 13 for the Heat. How do you lose on a night when you force 22 turnovers and shoot 90% from the line? I'll tell you how. And you outscored them by 18 points in the paint, 62 to 44. This is a huge news story for Miami. It literally was the shooting. The three-point shooting killed them tonight. And Detroit's was good, 50%. What are you going to do? What you going to do, brother? Did she see Hulk Hogan walk out Colby Covington with Chael Sonnen? Didn't help him in his fight against Joaquin Butler at UFC Fight Night the other night in Tampa Bay. But do you know the way to Tampa Bay? We are going to wrap things up in just a minute on your Locked On Heat postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, at Jim Grease _ on social media. I am here after every Miami Heat game with your Locked On Heat postcast. This is the post-game show for the Miami Heat on the network. Do not get it confused with Locked On Heat podcast. That is every day to keep you up to date with what's going on with the team. This is after the game. So after the game, you only want to be right here, just like the Dolphins games, just like the Canes games, just like the Marlins games. After the games, here only after the games. Go see those guys well after when it's their turn day in and day out. And that's what they do. And that's what we do here is give you the post-game coverage, which is not to be mistaken for those daily shows. So there you have it. All right. Locked On Heat postcast. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Wrapping it up in just a minute on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Get ready to tackle the NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. The NFL is in full swing, and right now, new customers can get $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win. That's if you bet $5 at FanDuel. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of a game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place your bets right there. So easy. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You're going to get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. It's $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. Come on, man. Come on. What are you waiting for at FanDuel.com? Never waste a hunch. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Boom, 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 boom. 125, 124. The Pistons beat the Heat in overtime. Quick recap. Tim Hardaway Jr., 3 threes in a row when the Heat had a 7-point lead, an 8-point lead, in OT. They came all the way back. They had to outscore Detroit 18-2 down the stretch. They were getting killed. The Pistons went on an 11-2 run to start the second half. They're up by 1,000,000 points. 1,000,000 points. Miami goes on an 18-2 run to close the game. Tyler with a big 3 sends it to OT just to get it there. They score the first 7 points in overtime. Then Tim Hardaway Jr., bang, Tyler Hero, brick. Tim Hardaway Jr., bang, Tyler Hero, brick. Tim Hardaway Jr., bang, Tyler Hero, brick. Cade Cunningham, oh man, calls timeout. Pistons get the ball. Tim Hardaway Jr. throws it away. Heat get the ball back. Oh, Jimmy Butler misses a layup, gets it back, gets fouled on the floor. They were in the bonus. They get the ball to Tyler. 6 seconds left. 3-pointer, brick. 4 threes in a row to end the game for Tyler. Brick, 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 brick. 3 Hardaways. 3, 3, 3. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. That's it in a nutshell. Detroit shot 20 of 40 from three, but it was Tim Hardaway Jr.'s bombing away in overtime and Tyler bricking him in response, and that's what it was in the game. All right, real quick, let's get on out of here in just a moment, but before we do, we're going to tell you a little bit about the game on Friday. I mean, Oklahoma City is good. SGA and Holmgren and company playing for the Cup. This team is one of the best teams in the West, one of the best young teams, and they haven't been this good. I mean, think about it when they had KD, Russ, and Harden. And think about when Orlando had Shaq and Penny. Heartbreaking to think of those young teams that made the finals and just didn't stay together. Now Oklahoma City is finally good again. Here we go, Heat fans. These are the moments. But first, the final score graphic. You know what it is. It's about that time. It's about to go down. Now you see me. Now you don't. There's Tim Hardaway Jr., that snot-nosed kid from 1997, hopping out of the Range Rover with his mom, Yolanda. Oh, baby. That snot-nosed kid. Oh, he killed the Heat tonight. 3 threes in overtime for Tim Hardaway Jr. against his dad's team. And look at that face right there, that intensity. Great job by Tim Hardaway Jr., 125-124. Detroit beats Miami for the second time this season at Detroit in overtime. And this is the first time in 5 years the Heat have lost to the Pistons 2 times in the same season. The turning point of the game, Tim Hardaway Jr., 3 threes in a row in OT, unanswered. Tyler trying to build some brick houses in the Detroit area, but not getting those shots to drop. Love you, Tyler. You're amazing this year. I'm just trying to be funny, and I'm really not, so I'm sorry. But everyone has an off night. And it wasn't Tim Hardaway Jr.'s off night. How about the stars of the game? You already know one of them. Malik Beasley, 28 points, 7 threes. Could have been Cade Cunningham for Detroit, 6th triple-double of the year, 2018 and 11, whatever it was. But Beasley's shooting throughout the night gave Detroit a huge lead. Without him, Miami wouldn't have had to score 18 in the last 20 points in the game. Fluke. Really, to do that? Unbelievable job by the Heat, by the way, to do that. But, yeah, just couldn't do it and make one more down the stretch is what it amounted to for Tyler and the Heat. And the thing that makes it even worse is a 1-point game on every one of those shots. Like, and you have the lead on a bunch of them, actually. His first 3 cuts it to 5, you miss. His second 3 cuts it to 2, you miss. His third one gives them a 1-point lead, you miss again. Then you're down 1 and you miss again. So 2 of those 3s were missed when you were down 1. You only needed a 2. Yeah, it just is. It's ridiculous. So there's one star of the game. And the other star of the game, you already know. This is about the motoist of the moto, meaning master of the obvious. Jimmy Z. Butler, his best game of the season, 35 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists for Jimmy Z. Butler. Got the orange in the hair now, his best game of the year, the trade talks, all these things going on as the Heat had the 4-game win streak. Jimmy plays like this on nights when Tyler shoots like normal. They're not going to lose many games. The Miami Heat are going to be just fine, I do believe. But they play OKC on Friday, and OKC is legit, man. This team, SGA is the best player in the NBA. I said it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This dude is, if he's not the best player in the NBA, Ja Morant's right there with him in my book. And you know what I mean? Giannis is balling out this year. Anthony Davis is killing it. You got some great players in the league this year and every year for that matter. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 30 points a game, 51% shooting. This dude is unbelievable. You're in for a treat when he comes. And by the way, Chet Holmgren is out until January 26th. You guys already know that. So Oklahoma City is, you know what I'm saying? Like OKC is still playing well. They are still playing well. They play the Bucks in the final of the tournament, and that game is tomorrow night in Vegas, and they play Miami. But if you're looking at OKC and, you know, SGA and Jalen Williams is really good, 6'6", 220 out of Santa Clara. He's averaging over 21 points a game, having a great year for OKC. And then Holmgren, you know what I'm saying? He's about 16 a game and 8 rebounds, but it's SGA for them to get to going. Hartenstein and Dort. And yeah, I mean, it is. They're, you know what I mean? They're a decent team without Holmgren. They're a really good team with him. SGA is an amazing player. So we'll see what the Miami Heat can do with that for you And with that, I'll let you know that your favorite podcast now is a newsletter, the Locked On Heat Daily Newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now, LockedOnDaily.com, LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter. Don't forget, we're live after every Dolphins game, after every Marlins game, after every Hurricanes game. They got the bowl on the 28th that no one cares about after missing the playoffs and a shot at the national championship. Cam Ward finishes fourth in the Heisman Trophy voting because you lose 2 out of 3 to Georgia Tech and Syracuse. Mario to end the season. Guidry, you should not be allowed to coach in a bowl game. There, I said it, but I'll be on live after the game. Be on live after Dolphins every week. They blew it again at Houston on Sunday. And the Heat, yeah, tough one tonight with the loss. We'll be here Friday after the OKC game. That's all there is, Heat fans. There is no more. You're Locked On Heat postcast one more time. Bang, bitty bang, bang, bang. Tim Hardaway Jr., 3 threes, blowing off the pistol in OT as Tyler missed 4 in a row, including 2 in a row when they're down 1 late in the game in overtime after scoring 18 of the last 20 points of regulation to get it to overtime. They lose to the Pistons in Detroit for the second time in overtime this season, and that's the first time in 5 years they've lost 2 times in the same season to this awful team known as the Detroit Pistons. That's all there is, Heat fans. There is no more. We'll see you Friday after the OKC game. We'll see you Sunday after the Dolphins game. And we are here, not to be confused with the teams, Locked On Heat, Locked On Dolphins, day by day with the guys and with Kyle after the game right here. Locked On Sports Miami after the game right here. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeart, wherever you get your podcasts. After the game right here. At Jim Grease _ on social media, GRIES. After the game, right here, postcast, Locked On Heat, postcast, Locked On Dolphins, postcast. No matter what else you see, here is where you get your post-game coverage on the Locked On Podcast Network. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Heat fans. 125, 124. They lose at Detroit. See you Friday at home against OKC on the Locked On Podcast Network. Locked On Heat postcast, your team every day.